Okay, so now, long ago, during 2018, I was starting to try to find my own right to fit into YouTube, to see what my capabilities of and what am I gifted to actually do. And so from time to time, I have my inspiration with the Loud Critic YouTube poop videos, and even a couple of reaction videos I like to watch sometimes. I kind of crushed so much all these up together and just made myself an actual critic, but I couldn't figure out what kind of critic I wanted to be. If I wanted to be the horror critic, to review so much the horror genre movies, and it turns out nobody was actually buying that because there were other good reviews that did that one. Especially Dr. Wolfula was actually good at doing those types of films. But there was a Nickelodeon show that I got myself into, since it's been so long since I've ever watched Nickelodeon shows, since Danny Phantom and Jimmy Neutron went off the air. There came this show called The Loud House. And I decided, this is not such a bad show. This actually is a colorful and fun show with one boy and actually having 10 sisters. And I did find the sisters' personality really much likable in their own right. But everything that mostly started it all, of me creating the Loud House Critic, and the episode I started that off with is Left in the Dark. The very first episode from season 1 of The Loud House, even though Bathroom Break was actually the pilot episode, but I'm still wishing Project Loud House would have done that justice. So unlike today about how I've started to catch on more intelligence about reviewing and reacting to Loud House episodes, I decided to actually go back and look at this episode and the fact that I never rated the episodes or any of the other episodes I did back in the past. I'm actually going to give my full opinion about this episode, since I am having a revisit of this episode, and I did want to talk about this one, considering it was one of my top 7 favorite Loud House episodes from season 1. Okay, so the animation of this episode was not really that much spectacular as it was during Bathroom Break, but when it gets better along the way, when you see Get the Message, Heavy Metal, the animation gets so much better, but some of the characters' voices are still kind of getting a little bit more practice, such as when you listen to Lana Loud's voice.
Hey, I don't want to be part of some dumb old tea party. I'm gonna watch TV. Not even if these guys are invited. Thanks, Lincoln.
Sweet Jesus.
But I've seen some weird pilot episodes in other shows, such as Fox.
Yeah, right. Community college. Big girl, big girl. Hey, think that diploma will help you land a better section when you're waitressing at the Olive Garden? Zing.
Think you'll hit puberty before you turn 14?
So Lincoln is trying to watch the final episode of his favorite TV shows and has to beat each of his siblings to actually get to the couch until the power goes out after accidentally plugging the black and white TV in Lucy's room, and everybody starts to freak out, and then they start getting so much that they gotta go into the basement, probably the spookiest part of the house compared to the attic, and they try to re-get the power back on. We get a few scares that aren't pretty much scary, and there's a couple of laughs. Especially when I do like some of the times when Luann actually glowed in the dark, like some kind of cookie that she ate that Lisa invented. And even if the story was by and directed by, written by, and storyboard by Chris Savina himself, I still really think that this actually did kind of age a little bit good, even if the animation does kind of look off-putting, you know. But you know, it's the very first episode, so any first episode of a cartoon show can have some bad animation quality until they get better on down the line. Especially with some of the voice actors, like Greg Griffin was still having a bit of practice to try and get Lola and Lana's personality voices right. And some of the characters' personalities do actually come out a bit in this one, until later on down the line in Project Loud House, every one of their personalities and their capabilities come straight out in that episode, with another episode I really so much enjoy of The Loud House. So I could just easily just watch this episode either in the dark or with the lights on. So if you're new and you actually are starting to get into the Loud House a little bit more, I would suggest you watch this episode first before you watch any other episodes. I mean, this was the episode that pretty much started it all. I mean, my first introduction of the Loud House was Toads and Tiara in Undie Pressure before I discovered Left in the Dark was actually the first episode. It kind of seemed a little weird and uncanny about how the animation feels like the characters are completely out of place, especially when you watch it on a smaller screen in a DVD player. But you know, it doesn't seem like it kind of distracts you too long, as long as it's telling a story straightforward. And I'm the kind of guy who loves simple stories. I hope I was able to answer everybody's so much question and actually do this revisit of Left in the Dark that I did so much long ago. And I have to say, It kind of actually felt good getting this off my chest and out of my brain to actually let people know how I really feel about the episode, unlike how I first attempted to do so. But you know, it was the first time for everything to try to get used to what I was doing on YouTube, to see what my fans like and what they don't like, you know. But it's not going to keep me from playing the game, so I'm just going to keep on moving forward and just do a couple of more revisits, editorials, and Q&As. This was a Loud House Critic revisit, and I hope I can see you guys in the next one.